Welcome everyone to the Inspiration Pop-Up on a Monday afternoon. I hope every one of you as well, and Bridget in South Africa as well. Hello, Bridget.
Hello, lovely to see you.
Yeah, lovely to see you. We are having such an interesting subject today because we are talking about
Curiosity and the importance of being curious and why it's important to be curious.
and why do you think it's important? Why is it a special thing in life? What is really also an accelerator to something of creativity and something in your life?
So for me, I would say because I do coaching and because I do mentoring, because I work at Say Yes, I do part-time work at Say Yes, both of those require curiosity. Because if you're working with people, and actually not even just work, even just with friends, if you're not curious, that means you're not asking questions. If you're not asking questions, it means you're assuming. So if you phone somebody and they don't pick up, or you send somebody an email and they don't respond, or they do respond but they're very short and abrupt, if you're not curious and you're not asking questions and you're not being open to possibilities, you're going to be annoyed, irritated. Suddenly your ego is going to take over. That's the danger. I don't know, what do you think?
For me, curiosity is a wonderful feeling, and it made me travel around the world because I really love to get to know new cultures and new people. And I would say, as well as a journalist, curiosity is the tool you need for this job, and also as a teacher to be curious, to learn new tools to teach in education. And so but I feel it's a big magic in it as well, because when I do interviews with people, I sometimes get I get to hear stories I would never have expected before. And that's the thing what makes your way in life and whatever, if you do it like a journalist, that you really go forward, and this is the motivation, or the, I don't know, the energy that brings you forward. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a huge part of, and I mean I know because you've been on, you've joined my group, Real Conversations with Real People, and that for me is a huge part of that. It's having these conversations where I am genuinely curious about what has been the person's challenge, how that impacts them, who they are, and because the reason people are the way they are, and the reason that people do the things that they do, very often is because of a whole lot of other stuff that's happened. So if you're curious, then it makes you excited and it makes you open-minded, and it cuts away the judgment and it cuts away the ego, I think.
Yeah, and
I
this
agree.
excitement you were talking about is such a fuel for your life. And I always think it brightened my horizon so much, since I'm so curious and I feel free. And since I earn my own money, even as a student, I started to travel and wanted to get to know new countries, new cultures. And when I studied French, I wanted to go to the French part of Canada to see how they speak French there. No? And it was,
Yeah.
and I had so many interesting encounters with people who are living a completely different life, but they're speaking the same language. And then you learn English in different countries. It's the same. If you're curious and the language is your tool, amazing. Yeah.
And also because culture-wise, we are so incredibly different. Like the English people are much more reserved. I mean, I'm more English South African, so we're more reserved in the way we speak. So we speak a bit quieter. If there's other people in the room, we tend to lower our voices. We're mindful of the people in the space. Yet with other cultures, if you're speaking quietly, then you're trying to hide something. There's secrets going on, and there's a conspiracy going on. So for another culture, that would be, but that's very rude, whereas in where I'm from, it'd be like, but if there's other people, you would never make a noise because that would be very rude, so the more you can understand, I think the more you can accept that, because cultures are so diverse, they are so different, that if you don't understand each other's cultures, you can't respect it. And if you can't respect it, you can't build a relationship, a friendship, or anything, right?
Yeah, and it also makes you so happy and so open-minded if you follow your curiosity. No? And as I have to say, normally the German words are not so how do you say, so soundful, but because I always feel that English is much more soundful, but the German word of curiosity means Neugier, and Neugier, the translation of that would be new greed. So you are always greedy to explore something new. And I never really thought about that, but this is just amazing. And this is what we can say to everyone here who is listening: keep your curiosity, be greedy to new experiences, because it fulfills your life. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And it ties in with the active listening, you know, because we tend to speak more than we listen. And I think the curiosity and the active listening go very, very well together, and it removes the judgment of whatever, whomever.
Yeah, and it also, that's what we said already, but it brightens your horizon and your mind. Your mindset is different if you're so curious as well, and if you are always on the search of interesting stories, interesting people. And it also, I would say, yeah, brings much more energy to your creativity as well. No, if you have a creative business, or you're a business manager or whatever, and you are curious, I think, yeah, you're open to much more than just your job.
Yeah. So if there is ever a time this week where you are feeling somebody's wronged you, or they've disregarded you, or you're feeling upset, be curious. Just be curious on what actually unfolds and why you feel that way before you judge them or you make them wrong for something.
And it's always like, you can bring curiosity in your life as well when you do every day something new. Just take a new path to work, or take another bus or whatever. And that is sometimes so unexpected, because you meet another person you wouldn't have met, because you always take the same way. And yeah, it's different. And these are little tools or little tricks to improve your curiosity, and you will see what kind of magic curiosity has.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for this inspiration and pop up. It was inspiring, like always. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.